Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Mark. This is Spiguyver Backpacking. Today, I wanted to give you guys an update on my shoulder. So I've given quite a few updates to this point, but it's been a while since I've talked to you guys and told you where things stand. Along with updates on the shoulder, I do want to give a little bit of a channel update as well. Let you guys know what's been going on, why some videos have been out and other videos haven't, and what to expect in the coming future. So let's start with the shoulder. I am currently 5.5 months post-surgery for a full replacement. Now I've seen some comments talking about reverse replacements. This is an anatomical replacement that I had. So I got a new ball, they carved out the socket, put a new sleeve in there so that everything fits really nice, and it has been going really well. Initially, I came out of the surgery with no pain at all. Just kind of as a recap, pretty much no pain at all. My wife was here for the first few days after the surgery, but honestly, I was up and mobile day one. So as soon as I got home, I was able to get up. I had the cryo sleeve, the ice machine hooked up, and what I would do is I would just unplug it and walk around carrying it. I would go to the bathroom, set it down on the floor, do what needed to be done. Now, when it came time to go shower, it was actually a few days. I probably smelled pretty horrible at that point and needed a shower, but I did it all myself. My wife wasn't in there helping me. It was just me in taking a shower. So I really felt like things were pretty normal. Now, of course, this arm was just kind of, I was holding it here. I wasn't doing anything with it. I definitely wasn't reaching over and washing myself with it. It was just kind of there. Things since then have gone fairly well, as you guys have seen throughout my progress. I graduated from PT. Physical therapist pretty much said, I don't need to see you anymore. You've been doing the work on your own. Things are progressing really well. Not really much more I can do for you. So I proceeded to take things on myself. Now, I was sent home with varying bands. So I've got these, what are they? TheraBands. So I've got these TheraBands that they gave me, and they're these general ones that everyone has seen. I've got them in yellow, green, red, blue, I believe are the different weights that I've got. And I use these still for different things. But I found that I felt like my strength was really increasing. And so for certain exercises, I started upgrading. I've got regular bands, bigger, thicker, really stronger bands. These ones are just a cheap set that I got off of Amazon for like $25 for, I think, 6 or 7 different bands, different weights. But I started progressing into that myself and initially felt really good. I could feel the workout. Wasn't really sore from the workouts because I was doing them pretty much every day, lower rep or higher reps, lower resistance, and then I slowly was increasing what I was doing. So I added more workouts in. It went from being about a half-hour routine to really pushing about an hour routine. And that's when I started to notice I was having a little bit of pain again. More pain than I'd had since before the surgery. And so I started to get a little bit worried that I might have done something. And so I needed to back off a little bit. And the pain was definitely in front. And I have a very noticeable dip right here where on this one, I've got a pretty solid muscle that's right here that when it's the one that if you go out in front, you can see it's right here. I have a very little bit of that, but I've got a big divot right here, which pretty much follows that incision line. And so I really need to build that muscle back up. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time for the adaptations that my body has already made to revert back to a normal muscle structure. And so I can't rush it. I can't go super hard and try and just muscle my way through it. I have to be methodical and keep things going at a gentle pace. Otherwise, I end up with pain. And that pain was something I'm sure that some of you guys who have had this surgery, experience. And it's kind of that, if you aren't using it for a while and then you go to move it, right now I'm back to the point where I'm pretty much pain free. Yes, there are some movements that I do. I don't know which ones, but there are some movements that I do experience some pain. Early in the morning, washing my armpit, sometimes reaching across, I have a little bit of pain, but it goes away pretty quickly. I have no pain doing this right now at all. But it was that initiation pain. I don't know if you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's that first movement. And it was almost like the pain was keeping me from even wanting to move my arm. But once I fought through that, and really what helped a lot was not trying to lift it from here, but getting up from my desk or wherever I was and doing almost like mini pendulums, using my body weight to swing it and get it moving. And once I got it moving, then I would be able to move it around without the pain. But that initiation movement really, really was hurting. So if you find yourself getting to the point, and I think it was because I was working so hard to try and build this muscle group back up, you know, the front of your shoulder, this front piece right here, trying to build that back up because it got lost. I ended up with pain, and I had a little bit of associated pain in my pec, and that's because the pec was doing a lot of the work for me that the muscles I'm missing over here right now normally would have done. And so there's definitely some work still to do there. I mean, this is a big surgery. They cut right through the muscle, and I've got a pretty good incision about that big, that it's going to take time for that muscle to get back to where it was. You know, the full recovery for this is, for most people, somewhere between 8 months and a year. And some people, it's out to 2 years. Some people never fully recover from it. But I will say that I have been extremely lucky and very pleased with the progress that I've made. Has it been perfect? No. Have I had setbacks? Yes. Were they caused by me? Probably. Doing too much, too soon, too hard. It's kind of what I do. So during this time, I also got out and did a disc golf tournament. I've actually done a couple. I did one I talked about before while I was still in the sling. I went out with my arm all taped up in the sling, went out and did a tournament and played pretty well. I went out and did another tournament since having it off, and I played extremely well. So I'm playing pretty well right now, which is making me very, very happy. But I have my good days and my bad days like everyone else. So like I said, the pain is kind of gone now. I've been off of working out. I really haven't been touching the bands much at all. Very minimal, and really going with like the reds because it's pretty lightweight. This red, not this red, but going with the TheraBands and keeping it pretty simple, pretty lightweight. Again, higher reps, lower weight, but not pushing it, not going too hard. But like I said, about 3 or 4 weeks, I have not been using the bands very much at all. And the pain has definitely diminished, and it's getting back to where I think that after what I've got coming up, after I get done with that, I can get back into a normal routine and try and work myself back into something where, you know, maybe in 2 months, I'm able to hit the gym and actually start moving some weights. Light weights, and we will play it by ear and see how it goes. I'm not going to rush into it. For the pain relief, you know, as I was having that pain, sometimes I feel a pain like along the incision, like it is almost being torn a little bit, like there's stuff sticking. But it's not too bad. The pain that I was having was definitely muscle related, inner pain that was not fun. And it actually got to the point where I broke the ice machine back out, the Breg, hooked it back up, and would spend 1 to 2 hours with it on the couch. And that really did help a lot. You know, I tried some of the salves and creams and stuff that I've got, and those did a little bit, but I will warn you, I had tried a few different ones. So I went with some heat creams. I went with like lidocaine stuff, and the lidocaine stuff works pretty well. I went with some herbal salves that are supposed to work, and they did a little bit. They have like capsaicin in them that causes a sting, but generally it makes it feel better. I found that the lidocaine probably for me worked the best. The warning that I will give you is if you get something like a heat cream that has menthol in it, the menthol is cooling, which feels nice. But on hot days, don't put it on, sit around the house in the cool air conditioning and feel like, oh, this is great. And then go outside where it's hot. It it is a heat cream and it heats up the muscles and it heats everything up. But when you combine it with sunlight and heat that's already outside and high humidity, it felt like I was being incinerated. I just felt on fire and hot, really, really hot. So just learn from me. All right. So I wanted to get a little bit of a channel update as well. And so anybody who's been watching the channel knows that it has been very disc golf centric, disc golf heavy for a little while right now. And primarily that's because I just have not been able to get out and do any backpacking trips. I don't have any new gear to talk about. And it's just been waiting on opportunities for me to get out. I've been traveling a lot for work, which has given me the opportunity to visit some different disc golf courses and get some video there. Those videos don't take me that long. A couple hours out on a course and I've got a video. A backpacking trip takes up like a weekend, 2-3 days. And so it's a lot easier to get in those shorter disc golf videos, talking about discs, going out in the field and throwing discs, doing little shorts from some of the longer videos that I've done. But don't worry. I know that some of you guys that joined this channel have been following the channel for a while because of the backpacking content, the hammock content, are a little bit frustrated by the content that's out there. But rest assured, there will be backpacking content coming up. I have something coming up next week, which is a cruise. I am headed to Miami, jumping on cruise for the week with the family. So my 3 boys, my wife, 2 of the girlfriends are coming. And so it's going to be all of us out on the cruise having a good time. Didn't pay for the internet package. It's just too expensive and kind of hit or miss from what I've understood. And so going to be comms off. Not posting anything, not doing work stuff, not calling anybody, not following social media. It's going to be kind of nice to just break off, break away, and just live in the moment and enjoy it and enjoy my family for 8 days, 7 nights in the Caribbean. So it's going to be nice. There will be backpacking again and soon. I think that sometime in August, I am going to have to get out and get a trip. I really actually almost went out this past weekend, but there were a few reasons why I didn't, and I'll just leave it at that. There's definitely going to be more disc golf content coming. So those of you who have been tuning in to watch that, I appreciate it. I will definitely be providing more updates on the shoulder as things evolve, things change, things get better, or things get worse. I'm going to be honest with you guys and tell you guys how it's going for me. I'd love to say, oh, it's been smooth, it's been perfect, there's been no setbacks, but no, I'm dumb. I push things too hard. I hurt myself, and it took a little bit of time for me to get back to the point where I'm not having pain, just moving my arm again. And so I'm back to the point where I've got good range of motion, feels good, and so now I could get back into a hammock. I don't think I could have 3 weeks ago thrown a backpack on or laid in a hammock and been comfortable. I think I would have been in a lot of pain. And so just bear with me. I had a big surgery and there's a lot of recovery and a long road ahead of me until I'm back to where I think things are going to be great. You know, I think things are going to get to the point where it's great again and I've got no restrictions and everything's good and I don't really have to worry about anything. One of the reasons I do like disc golf is I use my right arm. And so the left arm is kind of just a counterweight that's over here. I kind of pin it to my side and it's not really being used. And so it doesn't get too aggravated playing disc golf. Carrying a backpack, I've got the weight up here. Sometimes it shifts. It's the constant moving of the arm. And then it's the hammock. Laying in the hammock, even though the hammocks that I've got have minimal shoulder squeeze, there is enough that I feel it. I've laid out in the park right behind me, and it's noticeable. So give me a little bit of time. I know some of you are really frustrated. Please give me a little bit of patience, and I I promise you we'll be getting back to it. And with that, if you guys have any gear recommendations, gear you'd like to see, I've kind of been out of the game for a little while. What's new out there that I should be checking out? I know that there is. I just saw Devin from Backcountry Exposure. He just posted the Haven tent hammock thing. I really liked that when I reviewed it, but it was just way, way too heavy for me to say that it was practical for backpacking. And if you guys know anything about my channel, it's that I'm honest and I give honest feedback. And it's definitely something that for car camping, short trips, it was fine. But I'm a backpacker. And for those trips, it was just too heavy. It wasn't something that I would carry. There were, in my opinion, better options. But they came out with what they're calling the Spectre Haven tent hammock. I don't even remember what it's called. But it actually looks pretty good. I think durability is something that's going to have to be looked at on that one. Time will tell. It's using what looked like a cloud type fabric, a monolite type filament or type fabric that's on there that has, in my opinion, had its pluses and minuses. I did have a bridge made out of it that has a problem, and I have used the hammock chairs made out of cloud or monolite, and they've had problems. I do have one extremely lightweight hammock that's made out of monolite that hasn't had an issue. So I guess we will have to see. The stresses of that are a little bit different than a gathered in hammock, and so we'll see how those all evolve. But that is a new product that's out there that if you guys are interested in, maybe I could get a sample to go out, try out, test out, see how it goes. But I'm sure there are other things out there, stoves, other gear, tents, tarps, whatever. Let me know what you're looking for. On the disc golf side, are there discs that you want me to throw? I did get a couple of recommendations today. And so once I get back from the cruise, I'll probably place an order, get a few discs in, and go out and throw them and let you guys know what I think of them. I appreciate everyone who's tuned in, watches these, that follows the updates, that follows the channel. If you haven't done so before, and especially if you've made it this far, I've rambled on, talked about pain, talked about all this other stuff. If you've made it this far and you're not already subscribed, please go down and hit that subscribe button. Costs you absolutely nothing, helps out the channel tremendously. Hit the like, share it with friends, leave me a comment down below. Of all the things you could do, hitting that like button and going down and commenting are two that really do great things for the channel. So do that with all my videos. Leave me a comment. I try to respond to every single comment. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you watching. I'm not here to make money, but I would like to see my content hit more people. And right now it's been, because I've been away for so long, the algorithm has kind of pushed me to the back of the pile, and the views are definitely down on the channel. And I would like to make sure that the content that I'm making is reaching the right audiences and getting out there. I think that for the most part, I put a lot of work and a lot of effort into what I do. And I hope you appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys down the trail.